Good morning, everyone. Hi, it's Eric here, and I am at one of our gardens, and I'm going to take you on a little tour because really haven't been here. What is that, a bird? I really haven't been here in like 2, 3 months, so it's a lot of things I have to clean up starting today, get ready for spring, and I'm just gonna take you on a little tour of that. Okay. Before I take you on this tour, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram at EBLLC, Easton Banks Learning and Life Center Incorporated, and make sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment on what other videos you guys would like to see next. So let's go. So first, this is inside. I don't know what you would call this, greenhouse maybe, not really, but we had tomatoes over here with onions. As you can see, the onions during the summer just died, but now they've come back there, and then the scallions are here in the front, and as you can see, the tomatoes have died off. These were what kind of tomatoes were these? Beefsteak tomatoes. They got like this, and we had at least 8 of them, but they didn't come until the cold weather came, and so we didn't get to harvest as many as we thought we would have. Over here we had I think those were like not grape tomatoes, more like cherry tomatoes, and we harvested some of them, but some of them died, and we harvested some. We have carrots over here. They're old. I guess I'll just put them in our compost that I grow in my house. And then over here we had collards. I think we had like 2 collards, and then other plants we had there were dill. And it died off towards the end of last year. I mean, not last year, like the beginning of this year it died off. And then here we had a great abundance of lettuce here in this bucket, and then kale here in this bucket. And I don't know what this is, but it tends to come in our raised beds here at this garden. These little things here, if you guys know what they are, please let me know in the comments. It's like fungus of some type, but it comes through the bottom of the raised bed and into the soil, and I don't know what it is. It's like in the shape of a flower. I don't know, it's weird and it creeps me out. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it comes from, how it gets there. But this raised bed, it has lettuce and then cabbage, purple cabbage in the back, but you can also tell that like something has been digging, so I have to get some more like rodent or deer or rabbit repellent, because I did see a rabbit here one time. And then over here in these buckets we had mustards, but I'm gonna clean them up later, probably towards the end of the month. Clean them up, add more soil, compost, and use them for other plants. Then over here is where all the fun is going to happen. So I dreaded having to do this process. I waited so long that like it needs to be done now. So I don't know if you can tell, but each one of these are rows. So it's a row here. There's about 6 of them. 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's a lot of weeds, a lot of the little straw things that fall out of the trees, along with leaves. And so I have to clean all the leaves of all the straw, all the weeds in between each row and on top of the rows. And then as you can see, there's this black garden fabric that we have, as you can see there, on each row. And since last year during the fall, I think, it's been very overrun, whether with plants or animals crossing over it, like birds, squirrels, and just the weathering of the material. So after I clean up around and on top of the fabric, I'm going to just remove the fabric. And then I saw this video from this lady that we follow on Instagram. I think her IG name is Seed to Fork, and her name is right there, Seed to Fork. And she posted this video on how her and her husband gets their vegetable in-ground beds ready, and they use like, I think, ground steak or something, like a fork steak. I don't know. It's like a handheld tool, like in the shape of a fork, like a big fork. And they use that to do around the perimeter of the bed. And then they use some other tools along with a shovel, I think. Well, I know I'm going to use a shovel because some of the tools they use I don't have with me, so I'm going to have to use what I have. And so we do have compost at one of the other gardens, so I'll have to bring some of that over later. But we're gonna have to clean this up first. But before we do that, there's still 2 other areas I would like to take you to. And so one of the areas that I'm taking you to is the where we had watermelon plants growing, and this year, well, kind of last year, it didn't produce anything. It grew a lot of leaves, a lot of flowers, but never any actual produce. So we are going to work on that. In here, this is where the watermelon plants were, and so you see those weeds in the little sections where the watermelon plants are growing. I'll have to remove that. I may not be able to get to everything that I want to do today, but I'll try to make sure I get to most of it. And right here we had turnips growing. These are the last 2 turnips that are growing. That one, and then that one right there. I'm gonna just pull those up and put those in my compost because, I mean, they've been there for the longest, and it's time to just take them up because they're getting old, and there's no need to just have them there not producing anything to give to anyone. For the last section of the garden is here. So here, I don't know if you guys remember, during the summer last year we had green beans here, and then we had butternut squash growing along here. So this upcoming growing season I might put corn on this side, but I'm going to have to heavily add in some compost and extra soil, because I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's not that much soil here, and as you can see, the that garden fabric is showing, so it has to be a lot of soil that I add here for it to build up so that the roots can go deep into the ground. But it's a lot of cleaning on. It's not that much cleaning because during the summer it was a lot of weeds growing, and so it's not that much that I have to do, but I just have to add a lot of soil. And if you guys know of any method on how to keep weeds out of your raised beds, please let me know in the comments, because I do have trouble with trying to keep my raised beds not having so many weeds. It gets very tasking. So as you guys can see, I've cleaned up in between the rows with the leaves and the pine straw. And so I've done the first row. See, there goes another one of those things. Little flower things, I say, like a fungus or something. I don't know what these things are. They're disgustingly creepy. Anyway, like I said, I went through with the shovel and dug a trench along the perimeter of this row, and that's what I do for each row. But unfortunately, I'm not going to do each row today. because it's still like trash over there, as you can see, and I have to clean that up first before I even try to add more lawn bags of trash to that pile. I need to clean that stuff over there first, get that taken away, and then I'll come back later on probably Wednesday. It may not be Wednesday, it might be Friday. I come back. So Friday I come back and do some more cleaning, and I'll show you guys the finished result. You can check the finished result on our Instagram and Facebook. But I just wanted to show you the progress I've made today, and you'll see the progress and everything on Instagram and Facebook. And I also have to, before I leave, I'm gonna use that bag there and just go inside and take up the old tomato plants and lettuce plant and kale, so that I'll have everything prepared and ready for the students. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.